Our new book, Moving Minds, Conservatives in Public Transportation, enables liberal transit advocates to talk to conservatives about why we need particularly rail transit in terms conservatives can relate to. You can't go to conservatives and say, well, we should have better transit because it'll reduce greenhouse gases and global warming and so forth. Whenever you do that, you're telling them, oh, obviously this is something I should oppose. There are very good conservative arguments for improved rail transportation, including the fact that many conservatives ride such transportation. The most effective way to decrease rush hour traffic congestion is to give people another way to get to work that they will actually choose to use. Public transit does work if you measure how it works correctly. Libertarian transit critics say, well, public transit only carries 1% of total trips. But the number is misleading because the measurement is wrong. Half of Americans have no public transportation, so obviously they can't use it. Of those who have it, only half say it's even satisfactory. If we use another measurement, which is transit competitive trips that transit can actually compete for, we get a very different answer. If we look at the corridors that are served, we find in many cases they're carrying, say, 40%, not 1% of total trips in the area served. If we go back 80 years, we would find an extensive network of rail transportation in this country, both intercity and within cities, all privately owned and privately operated and paying taxes. What happened is we forced that private industry to compete against a government-subsidized competitor, namely highways. As early as 1920, government was pouring $1 billion a year into highways. Well, every conservative knows what happens when you tax one competitor and subsidize the other. The subsidized competitor wins. That's why we have the current automobile dominance. It is not a free market outcome. It is the outcome of massive and prolonged government intervention. The second subsidy argument is that transit requires subsidies as opposed to highways, which don't. Well, highways do. If we look at the Federal Highway Administration's numbers, we find that user fees, including the gas tax and tolls, only cover about 58% of the cost of highways, which is to say 42% is subsidized. Now, many rail transit systems cover more than 50% of their operating expenses out of the fare box, so in fact, it's a wash. Our economy depends upon adequate infrastructure, including rail.